Hello everyone, one more lesson. Today's lesson is about text formatting. Last two lessons we were talking about the head element, its double tag, and what's included, what you need to include between the two head double tag, all the metadata and stuff. We also talked about last time about the paragraph and the pre tags. Today we're going to talk about text formatting. Before I talk about text formatting, I need to make sure that it's the concept of block and inline. The difference between the in block element and inline is clear to you before I start. So it's so important for me to do that. So to explain that, let's have a paragraph tag here, and I'm gonna say, as usual, hello world, and let me repeat that line for a couple of times, like three hello words. Then let's reload here and look how it's gonna look like. So you can see here, hello world, hello world, hello world, in 3 different lines. Somebody might say, oh, there is a blank line between the two. That's not a blank line, that's a margin. A margin is like, when we talk about CSS, you will know exactly what's a margin. Margin is like a little space above and below and to the right and to the left of the element. So that's a margin. So if we go to the inspect, let me go to the inspect to show you what are there. You go to the inspect here, and you notice here in the inspect, see all this margin with the orange, it says margin, then after that border, then padding, and all of that will be very clear when we cover the CSS. But here in the element, those two between the three hello world is not a blank line, it's the margin. So you notice here I'm moving, my mouse pointer is on the margin. Now I'm gonna move it down a little bit to the border. Now I move it a little bit to the padding. Then I move it a little bit to the, see here how it's, the highlight is different, is moving on the top when I go to margin. Anyway, also you can just, if I go to the body here, on the element and down in the window here, and then I expand, and every time you move your mouse pointer to one of the elements, let's see this one, you notice here what happened. It's hello world, the first line, the first hello world is highlighted. Then I move it to the second hello world is highlighted. Then I move it to the third hello world is highlighted. Okay, so the reason those three paragraph elements in 3 different lines, because each one of them is a block. Block means it takes the whole width. The element will take the whole width of your browser, regardless of what kind of browser you're using. So if you're using Chrome, or you're using Safari, or you're using Firefox, it doesn't matter. It's going to take the whole width. So if we move those 2 lines, let's move the second line here. I'm going to move it, or guess what? I'm going to delete it. So I'm going to let's see if I can move. Yeah, I can move it. I move it here. Then let me move that one too. I'm gonna move that line here. So the 3 in the editor here, on the VS Code editor, the 3 elements are in the same line. We're in the same line. But when I reload here, guess what? Nothing changed. Still. Why? Because they are block elements. Every single element is going to take the whole block. That's not the case with inline. If we go for inline example, let's say I'm going to go here for the span, and in the span I'm going to say hello world, period, a couple of spaces. So this hello world is span, then I'm going to repeat the same line over and over, so 3 times. And notice here what's going to happen when I reload. When I reload, you see the hello world period space, hello world period space, hello world period space in the same line. But if you look in the editor, they are in 3 different lines. But what displayed on your browser is only one line. Why? Because the inline element takes space, only space that your content will take. So it's not going to take the whole width of the browser. Just that's the main difference between I think I talked about it before. That's the main difference between the block element versus the inline element. Okay, another thing you need to know also, like I forgot to mention last time, when you go to one of these, like hello world, the first hello world here, the first hello world. Let's say I'm gonna change it. Instead of hello world, I'm gonna say, oh, guess what? I misspelled hello world actually. So with a double L, it doesn't matter. Let me say here, that is me, and then I hit the enter key. Notice here what it says on the top here. It says that is me. Hello world. So you can change in the inspect window. That's why I'm telling you the inspect is very handy, very powerful tool for us. We're gonna use it a lot in the when we start working with the CSS. It's very handy tool. So I can change, but guess what? It's only change locally, not even locally. It's only change in your inspect window. So as soon as, it's not going to change on the browser, as soon as you reload the page, again, if I click reload, the first hello world is going to go back. Here is back to hello world. So you can change it temporary, but it's still, as soon as you reload, it's going to go back to its original status. So the reason I'm mentioning this because some people have this kind of hack mentality. Those hackers, if you are that kind of person, you have the hack mentality and you want to hack one of the sites. Let me give you a quick example. It's a funny example. Let's say I'm going to go over here and I'm going to visit the apple.com. And look here in the apple.com, see that icon, the Apple icon. Let's say, oh, I want to delete this. I'm going to put my own icon. So can I do that? Yes, let's do that. So I'm going to right click on Apple and go to the inspect. And you notice here, it's highlighted the line here. And guess what? I'm going to delete it. See, I'm going to delete on my keyboard now. Oh, wow, it's gone. Yeah, now I can insert my own logo. Yes, you can do that. But as soon as you reload, you can do this just temporary in your own browser, in your own inspect window. But as soon as you click reload, the Apple is back. So I just want to mention this just, because some people think that they can do this with Google or with Apple, with Microsoft. They put their own logos, but that's not going to happen. Anyway, okay, so let me just go back to our view and let's close this inspect. And now let's start working with the text format. So let me remove all these things here. So I will save and reload. So go back to blank page. I pre-prepared the text. Here so we can use in the text formatting. Let me see if it's still there. Yeah, this is a paragraph I'm gonna use. Let me just say reload that. Okay, this is a paragraph I'm going to use in the text formatting. What's the text formatting? When you change text, like what? Like this table. So the tag B and strong, we're going to talk about the two tag B and strong, and the small for decreasing the font size, and for the EM and I, italics or emphasize, for mark or highlighting. Underline and insert, delete, and also superscript and subscript. We're going to talk about so many tags, but I'll keep that in the bottom here. So every time, we're going to start with the first one, which is B and strong. What is that B and strong is going to do for us? Okay, let's say this paragraph says this paragraph is to be used as an example for text format. Let's say the word paragraph here, the word paragraph. So I'm going to go here in my text editor, the word paragraph. I want to make it bold. Yes, I can do that. Okay, all what I need to do, I just use the B tag for bold. Okay, and then I'm going to move that text paragraph inside the element. Then I will reload. And I want you to notice here after I reload what's going to happen to the word paragraph. It's bolded. So why? Because it's included in the B tag. Okay, how about the word format? I want to use the format here, or the word tag. The word format. I want to make it strong. So I'm going to make here strong. Or not only this. Let's say this whole sentence. From here to here, I want to make this whole sentence strong. So I can just go over here and put the strong tag and it's double tag. By the way, all the format, the text format tags are double tags. So I'm gonna move this line, this sentence from here to here, from I have all the way to products period. I'm gonna move it inside the element. So just move it inside the element and gonna reload the page. You notice what happened. I have an online store for selling some products. The whole sentence is bolded strong, and actually, in terms of effect on appearance, they are exactly the same. The B tag is the same as the strong. Want to use the B tag, want to use the strong, I don't care, you can use it either way. But for programmer, usually we use the strong when we have like a phrase or a sentence. I want to make the whole thing strong, so I'm gonna put the, but if I have just one word or one terms or one terminology, I will use the B tag. Okay, so that's the first thing, which is the B and the strong. Now the small. Okay, let's move to the small. I want to make here, wait a minute, this whole thing is small anyway, so but anyway, let's say I want to make the word what, blah 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 blah. Oh, let me add something here. Maybe I'm gonna put here somewhere here h1 tag. I'm gonna use the h1 tag, and in that h1 tag I'm gonna say hello Smith. Okay, so I'm not using hello world this time, I'm saying hello Smith, and then I'm gonna reload, sees hello Smith. I want to make the word Smith small, so all what I need to do is just go here before the word small, before the word Smith, and I'm gonna put the small tag. Then I'm gonna move Smith text here inside the element. Then I'm gonna reload the page. Notice what's gonna happen to the word Smith. It's gonna go smaller than hello. So every time you use the small is to decrease the font. And as I said, we will do all of that with CSS, and you will never do it again with HTML. But just in case, you need to know that people long time ago, before the CSS, we used to use I am among those people who use I have a background for computer science. I'm dealing with computers since the 90s, so I'm among those old people, old-fashioned people. So we used to do everything with HTML, not with using the CSS. But now everything is going to be done with the CSS. Okay, after the small, what else we have here for text formatting? We have the EM and the I, the italics and the emphasize. Okay, so let's say I want to change this word that it says here, members. I want to change the members here to italics. Here, see what it says. The price is $17.99, but if you are a member, you can get the discount. So I want to change this word member to italics. So all what I need to do is just go before the word member here and put the I tag, and then I'm going to move the member text inside the element. Then I will save and reload, and you notice what's going to happen to member here. Member now is tilted a little bit to the right, which is italics. You do the same thing with EM. So let's say I want to have this whole line with milkshake 17 is so I want to make this whole line, or the line we are also selling water issue. I'm going to go with the second line here. We are also selling, I'm going to put the EM tag. I'm going to use the EM tag, and then I'm going to move this whole line inside the element. Then I will reload. Notice what's going to happen here to that line, which is we are also selling. I didn't reload yet. I'm going to reload now. I'm going to click on reload. See now what happened to it is just a little bit, it's exactly has the effect of italics. And again, one to use this and one to use this, I don't care, you can do it either way because we're not going to do it with HTML. But as a programmer, we used to use the I with one term or one word, but for a phrase or for a line or a phrase in a different language, I want to get the attention of the user that this is in Spanish or French. I'll do it italics. I'll use the EM. Okay, after that, what else we have to is, yeah, the mark, which is highlight. If you want a word to be highlighted, use the mark. So basically, let's say I want to use here, says we have a store at the east side of the mall. I want the word mall to be highlighted. So basically, I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna use the mark. Okay, the mark tag, and then I'm gonna move the mall text or the mall word here inside the element, and then I'm gonna reload. What's gonna happen to the word mall? Look here, what's gonna happen when I reload. So it's highlighted, it's marked. So that's the use of the mark, the mark effect. Okay, next is the underline and the insert. Okay, so let's go back again here and use the underline. And again, don't tell me what's the difference. The difference is underline, use it for one word, and the insert, I'm going to use it for more than one word. So, but still, I can do the other way around. So it's up to you. So let's say here for the underline, I want to underline this whole line where it says milkshake 17, blah, 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 is the 10th. So I'm going to go over here. Before that, I'm going to use the U tag, and then I'm going to move this milkshake only, milkshake. I'm going to use milkshake and move it to inside the element. Then I'm going to save and reload. Notice what's going to happen to the milkshake here. Milkshake on the side here, on the browser. Okay? So it's underlined. I can do the same thing. Let me just do the same exact thing to this whole line, which is we have a store at the side of the mall. So I'm going to do the same thing, but rather than using U, I'm going to use the ins. So I go over here, I'm using the ins tag. Okay, and then I'm going to move this whole thing. Okay, let me just remove this mark. Okay, I'm going to move this whole line here inside the element. Okay, then let me reload. Notice what's going to happen here to that. It's all underlined. So again, as I said, so you look at the milkshake is using the U, it's underlined. Using the ins tag in this line, it's underlined. Okay, after that, what else we have here? Yeah, the S and D, which is a line through, because sometimes you use this S for spelling mistakes. No, actually, the U and the insert we're using for spelling mistakes when you're using Microsoft Word editor. So if you have a spelling mistake, it's going to be underlined in red. If you're using, if you have a grammar mistake, it's going to be underlined in blue. So we can use the U and insert as well. For the delete and the S, let's say let's go back to my example here. Yeah, it's this line, it says milkshake 17.99 is 10.99. It's very confusing. What did that mean? Actually, it's talking about a member. If you are not a member, you're going to pay 17.99, but if you are a member, you're going to pay 10.99. But it's kind of confusing, and let me remove that word is here. I don't want that word is. Okay, where is that? Yeah, I'm gonna move that is, and rather than doing is, and you want to apply the discount, so what I'm gonna do here, and I'm removing the underline as well. So if I save, and I want to go back again here to see, so now it says milkshake 17.99 space 10.99. It's very confusing. What did that mean? If I want to explain that using the tag, so I'm gonna go here before the 17.99. And guess what? I'm going to use the del tag, and then the del actually stands for delete, and then I'm going to go over here and move that 17.99. Oh, okay, I'm going to highlight this whole 17.99. I'm going to move it here inside the element, and I'm going to save and reload. Notice what's going to happen to here. Look on the browser, it says milkshake. It used to be 17.99, now it's 10.99. So that make a lot of sense when you use the del. And also you can do the same exact effect using the S. Another couple of text format tags that is not in the table, which is the superscript and the subscript. Superscript and a subscript basically like looking at we are also selling water H2O. H2O, this is the chemist, this in chemistry, or organic chemistry, how to represent water in symbols. So but the way they do it, they put the H, and the 2 is subscripted, which is a little bit below the line, and then the 0. So the way you do that, let's say I'm gonna go here before the 2 here, and what I'm gonna do here before the 2, I'm gonna use the sub tag, and then I'm gonna move the 2 here, or I'm gonna delete the 2 from here and just type it here, and I'll leave the O. So what I'm saying here, it says H, then the 2 is gonna be subscripted, then the O. So when I save here and reload, notice what's gonna happen, the H2O here after when I reload. So I'm gonna reload now. So the 2, see, it's subscripted here. That's by the use of what? The sub tag. If you change that sub to super, the B to P, so for example, 22, want to make 2 to the power of 2. So the way you do that, you just go between the 2 2's here, and then I'm going to use the sup or the super tag, and then I'm gonna move the 2 here between that the element, and I'm gonna keep that 1 here. That's gonna look like 2 to the power of 2, okay, or 2 square. Actually, in math we do this in math all the time. So when I reload the page here, you notice here 2 and to the power of 2, that's superscripted. Superscripted means it's higher than higher and smaller to the right of the original, and subscripted is lower and smaller than the original one. So this is like this is kind of a quick view about how to format text. But again, as I mentioned at the beginning, we will never do that now with HTML, but we used to do this a long time ago with maybe in the 90s, maybe in the beginning of the millennium, but now we are using the CSS. So that's it for this lesson, and I will see you guys in the next lesson. See you. Thank you.